Along with coming to y'all, man, real quick. I ain't gonna make this video too long. As you can see, the video itself is only 3 minutes and some change. We may play the whole 3 minutes, we may not. Matter of fact, let me rewind this on, because this is actually a video that I'm watching with y'all. I just watched the first minute and 25 seconds, and that's it. I just picked some more a random video in regards to this digital ID shit. And we're going to see if we can break down a couple of things, man. See what these motherfuckers talking about in here. You know what I'm saying? And see what their next move is going to be. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, what you're looking at on screen is some shit from Sky News or whatever. And again, we just want to pay attention to the content, the information that's being given to us. And we want to, break down some things and see what we can make of it. All right, let's make it roll. Well, first off, no, I'm sorry. Before I even do that, let me say this. This is also the reason for why they want to bring the National Guards in into the different states and the different cities in America. This is why they want to do it. See, they want to get the groundwork laid already. So by the time they roll it out, anybody who resists can just get hit upside the head. See, now y'all know what these FEMA camps and shit is for. Remember the coffin liners that they were showing? They've been showing videos on YouTube for a long time now, for at least 10, 12 years now. Remember those coffin liners where you could put like 4, 5 dead motherfuckers in there? And they had hundreds of thousands of them out in the field down in Alabama and a bunch of different other states. That's what this shit is for. That's what it's for. That's why Donald Trump want to bring the military in. He don't want to bring the National Guard in. He want to bring full-blown military motherfuckers in here. This is how you get to your UN troops and shit. But anyway, I'm talking too much. Let's play some of this and see what we can break down. We'll get back to that later.
Welcome back to the programme. Sir Keir Starmer is not satisfied with being Prime Minister. He also wants to be Big Brother. The UK PM has unveiled plans to introduce a digital ID for every citizen as a way to crack down on illegal immigration, obviously.
And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament.
And notice he said it's free of charge. Anything the government give you is no good, especially if it's free. But anyway.
Yeah, very strange. It sets a scary precedent, actually. Here is Reform UK leader Nigel Farage.
All that digital ID will be is a means of controlling the population, of telling us what we can and can't do, of fining the innocent. And didn't we see it all when we had the pandemic?
Joining us.
So now let me also point this out. You notice how there's an uptick in cutting people off Section 8. There's an uptick in cutting people off their SNAP benefits and all this other shit. And even the people that still getting SNAP in certain places, they regulating what you buy. You can't buy motherfucking Twinkies and Ho-Hos and bonbons and shit no more. You know what I'm saying? You notice how conveniently all this shit is happening at the same time? Again, this is why I can't be on here like that, man. I'm going to get on here and I'm going to drop this shit like how I'm supposed to, because I am a messenger. When the shit is that important, I will put it out there. But outside of that, man, it's not a whole lot more I can do, because I gotta make sure when the time comes that I'm mentally and physically and spiritually ready for whatever the fuck they got coming down the pike. You feel me? But anyway, let's play some more of this shit.
One of our favourite guests, Spiked Online editor Tom Slater. Tom, always great to talk to you. How will this digital ID work and what has been the reaction?
Well, it seems like it's going to be mandatory for everyone in the workforce. There's been certain reassurances which have been made that you'll never have to present your papers on a street corner, but I don't think people are finding that particularly reassuring. This is one of those interesting policies where if you polled people a couple of weeks ago, on balance, would they be in favour of it? It wasn't actually that controversial, but almost by dint of how little trust people have in Keir Starmer, the polls are now suggesting that people are deeply suspicious of it. There's nothing like the support that even existed a few weeks ago. I think people really smell a...
Deeply suspicious of it? Really? Really? Or is it more like people are like, oh, hell fucking no? But anyway.
With this policy, they're presenting it as a way to crack down on illegal migration. It's already illegal for employers to employ people who do not have the right to work here. They do already have to do checks.
Boom. Now, did you hear what he said? Because it's the same way in America. It's already illegal for them to do it, but yet they still work here. Do you not see the setup? It's been a giant con, man. How many times Original Lone Wolf been telling y'all? I've been telling y'all for the fucking longest, man. The fraud came first. This is the reason why they ramping up everything. This is the reason why they going warp speed ahead. Because they know they bogus as hell. Everything, this shit is beyond fraud. This is these niggas trying to play God. Like, these motherfuckers are bogus for what they doing. Not one single company has been shut down for all the so-called illegal migrants that they hired. Didn't y'all hear them telling y'all they going all over the fucking country, ICE and shit? They busted motherfuckers at Home Depot and all this other bullshit. Well, how the fuck did they get in Home Depot to work there if they was illegal? But yet ain't nothing happened to Home Depot. Remember the whole thing with Hyundai? Was it Hyundai? It was one of those car companies and shit where they had all those Koreans and shit in there. It was like 400 of them in there or something like that. Why ain't nothing happened to them? Because it's been a giant con from day one. It's been a giant con. I've been trying to tell y'all, man. I've been trying to tell y'all. But anyway.
I don't think those car washes and barber shops, which are obviously exploiting illegal labour, are going to change just because there's a new smartphone app involved. And you can tell that this isn't about illegal migration because the justifications for this policy, whenever the Labour Party have argued for it over the years, have always changed. It used to be about convenience, then it was about access to the health service. Now we're talking about illegal migration. I think people are starting to notice this isn't about controlling the borders, it's about controlling us. And I think Keir Starmer, in a sense, is the worst poster boy to push this through, given how disliked he is in the country.
Yeah, well, it's little wonder then that Keir Starmer...
So now the other thing, too, I can't find this information on no cable mainstream media, CNBC, Fox, and, you know, all of the rest of the cable news stations or whatever. None of them are reporting it as of right now. All right, today is it's almost midnight, so technically it's almost September 30th. But right now it's September 29th. It's close to midnight, you know, September 30th. And right now, no cable news station, to my knowledge, no local news stations here in Chicago or the suburbs or whatever is reporting this shit. They're not talking about it. So we'll see. Because the nigga did say by the end of the parliament. I don't know exactly how long they terms and shit run over there or whatever. But basically it's going to be pretty close to that 2030 gap. That 2029, 2030 shit. So we'll see what's going to happen coming down the pike because they study rolling this shit out slowly but surely. This is what your fiber optics was about. All the fiber optic lines and shit they was putting underground and all this other bullshit. I just turned down a job, right? Peep this, right? Real quick. I just turned down a warehouse job, right? For a little small company that deal in fiber optics. Like they they sell a lot of the shit that these people use for that. For like cell towers and fiber optics that's underground and all of that bullshit. I just turned down a company that hired me to work there. And you know why I turned them down? It's because one of the ways they wanted to verify my last employment was a check stub. And it's like, there's no motherfucker where the hell I'm finna upload a fucking check stub to you fucking cocksuckers. That was part of the whole background check process. You know how they do the criminal check and all that other shit? That was part of the process. You know what I'm saying? And it was already crazy because I had came to him the first time and I told him, I said, look, man, I ain't got no driver's license. You know what I'm saying? My shit expired. You know, I ain't got no fucking license. Plus, the place where that hired me was real close to the job. So a motherfucker like me, you know what I'm saying, I really don't need transportation to get there. You know what I'm saying? Quiet as it's kept. You know what I'm saying? It meaning if, you know, my car went down for a day or I had blown a tire or something like that, you know, I'll still be able to get there. So I'm like, dude, I ain't got no fucking driver's license information to give him. So he had to go back in there and change up some shit to where I could use my state ID. You know what I'm saying? And then I see the shit about the check stub and it's like, no, hell no. You know how much information they put on your check stub? They have your shit on there for your medical, your dental, like where you got a 401k and your savings and all that shit, taxes, everything. It's like, nah, dude, why the fuck would I give you that? Why? But this is the shit that they own. Not to mention the little YouTube short that I did. What was that? Yesterday. Yeah, because that was, well, technically 2 days ago because it's like Tuesday now. But Sunday, when I did that little YouTube short showing y'all how if you got the little digital shit on your phone for the coupon, it's a digital coupon. And I know right away they talking about your cell phone. I know square away. I don't know nothing about the terms and conditions and all the bullshit, but I know dead away they talking about a cell phone. And it's like, I ain't got that fucking shit. And I'm not giving you my phone number to fucking, you know what I'm saying, to get the savings. I'm not going to do it. But this is the shit they're doing. And they're rolling it out slowly but surely. And this is one of the reasons for why none of the mainstream media is reporting about it. And this is also the fucking reason for why Donald Trump wants the troops and all of the different. He wants the motherfuckers in place when they get ready to roll it out. Straight up. That's what this shit is all about. It's just that motherfucking simple. You got a lot of motherfuckers in Chicago that know what's going on right now. It's not to say that crime ain't fucked up and this, that, and the other, but a lot of people are aware of what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we're going to play a little bit more of this and I'm going to get up out of here.
Now, the least popular Prime Minister on record, Tom, and that's according to new polling. Tell us about it.
Now, this is remarkable. So he's got an approval rating, a net approval rating of -66, which, as you say, makes him the least popular Prime Minister since...
Of course he got an approval rating of -66. Yeah, of course. You see the fuckery? But anyway, nonetheless.
Pollsters have bothered to check. This goes all the way back to the 1970s, would include people like Margaret Thatcher, very controversial, divisive figure in the country. He beats out Rishi Sunak, he beats out John Major. And I think through those three, you really see what it is that really turns the British public against a particular Prime Minister. All of those three gentlemen were not necessarily seen as ideologues, not necessarily seen as someone with a vision, with a view of the world, agree with it or disagree with it. All three of them are kind of that combination of being both completely empty vessels, but also kind of useless. You know, people who claim to be technocrats and good governors of the country, but at the same time, all of these crises seem to be enveloping them. So Keir Starmer is a uniquely unpopular...
But everybody they just showed on that chart, on that graph, and I'm going to end it with this. All of the people names that they had on that chart with dude, they all did their part to help get us where we are today. And it's the same thing here in America when you look at Trump and Biden and Obama and George Bush and Bill Clinton and Ronald Reagan and Richard Nixon and fucking Jimmy Carter and, you know, the list go on. I mean, I've been around for a minute now, you know. But, yeah, they all played their part to get us to where we are today. So now the question becomes, you motherfuckers gonna tolerate this shit? That's what the question becomes. Because this is damn sure why Donald Trump wants the military in these cities and shit. And notice he was saying in the cities, he don't want to nowhere rural. You know why? Because that's part of the King Alfred's plan. Most of the population concentration of people are in the cities. They want to cut it off and try to rope it off and section everybody off. Because you got to remember the highways and byways and shit that we use every day to travel to get back and forth to work. Those was originally built for runways. For the military. And as time went on, they scrapped the project and then they just turned it over into highways or what you call expressways today. But originally when they were first built, that's what they were for military to be able to easily take off and land for deployment and shit. Right? Which also helps you understand why they haven't stopped flying Chinooks here in Illinois since COVID started. And I think I told y'all that. You know, I was talking about it on my first channel, you know what I'm saying? Because I even showed videos of them flying. But even on this channel here, I've been talking about it. They still fly Chinooks. They still fly unmarked aircraft in across, you know, the state of Illinois, like helicopters and shit. They don't have no tail markings on them, nothing. A lot of times they be black. No tail markings, nothing. All right? And this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about, man. You know what I'm saying? When they was flying them Chinooks in Chicago, less than 1,000 feet off the ground, I told motherfuckers then, it's coming. And this was during COVID. This was during COVID. This is back when they were still doing the lockdowns and everything was closed and they motherfuckers had to wear masks and all this other shit. They was flying Chinooks in the city limits of Chicago. Less than 1,000 feet off the fucking ground. But anyway, it's Original Lone Wolf, man. I'm going to end it right there, man. I done said enough in 15 minutes. Much love.